So hello everybody, welcome to our YouTube channel. Oh, actually no, our YouTube channel. It's Migrant Dr. Mom YouTube channel. Please like, share, follow, and make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. So today we're having not a guest. She's so common to you all. I just wanted to ask her some few questions that my friends and maybe also her friends will want to know more about her. I know you don't know more about daktari, or we say daktari in Kenya, that's Swahili. In English it's doctor. You don't know more about doctor, so let's know more about doctor. Welcome, doctor.
Thank you so much for having me on my channel. It's different being on this other side of the chair, but anyway, it's all good. What do you want to know about me?
We have a lot of questions to ask you, doctor. Oh, let me just call her daktari, because doctor. Nah. Okay. So daktari, some of the questions like people want to know more about you is, first we start with, can you please tell us a bit about your background and what inspires you to pursue a career in medicine?
Oh, wow. Okay. Gosh, how much do you want to know? You know I'm a talker, I can talk.
Don't talk too much, please. Please, just talk, but don't talk too much, please.
Okay, all right, stop me along the way. Anyway, I am Anna, as you've said. I'm a practicing doctor here in Australia. Apart from being a doctor, I am obviously a migrant. I'm a professional, I'm a mom of 3, and a mom to many more out there who look up to me as a mother. But above everything else, I am actually born again Christian, and I'm a wife, a daughter, an aunt. I am many things, I think. Yes.
That's all you can say?
I am, what else? Let's see. I do a few more things, and I wear a few different hats every now and then. But I think the biggest for me is the fact that I'm just a common person that you can just talk to, I guess, at the end of the day. Yes.
Okay, I hope you've heard who daktari is. So next to our next question was, someone asked, what does a typical day look like for you?
Okay, I've just remembered that I haven't covered your first question on the background. What sort of background were you looking for, like studies, life?
Both studies and life.
Okay, so I was born and raised in Kenya in I'm from a very big family actually. I have so many siblings. We are we actually are many siblings, 11 to be precise, and I am the last of the 11. I was raised by a very strong mother, and my dad was the disciplinarian who made sure we went to school. So I went to school in Kenya. My primary school is Mululu. It's actually very interesting where I went to school. It's called Moses Mudavadi Primary School in Mululu, and then I went to Chalks, Limuru Girls, and then I did my undergrad in Moi University, School of Medicine. Worked there for a while. I worked in Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital for a couple of years. And then, and some of you've heard it in my other videos. A friend of mine, prompted me, and here I am in Australia a couple of years down the line. So that is, in a nutshell, my background. Born and raised in a village, went to school in Kenya, and then now I'm here in Australia.
Wow, that's great. And did you tell people that you can sing? Did you?
Oh, I forgot. Yes, once upon a time I was a worship leader, and now, the stresses of life and that has, but I still sing. I love singing. I find singing as a way of, I sing when I'm happy, I sing when I'm sad, I find an opportunity to sing all the time because I believe music is medicine to the heart. And I'm so glad that I'm surrounded by people that can also sing. We sing with you as well, of course, and a few other people. So I love singing. Yes, I do.
Okay, that's good. Next to our next question was, before you interrupted, was what does a typical day look like for you? Someone asked that.
Typical day, it depends on what I'm doing on that day. But so I have my work days and I have my non-work days. By and large, my work days start off depending on the shift that I'm on. So in my general practice work, I start work quite early. I leave the house by like 6, and then general practice work is essentially, see patients as they come in, plan your day and stuff like that. And the days that I'm doing shift work, sometimes at the hospital, it depends on the shift that I'm on. So my typical day would include, obviously, there's my duties at home as a mom and a wife, and then there's my work duties during the day, and then obviously in the evening, again, the same thing occurs again. So essentially, a lot of it is to do with seeing patients, following patients up, ensuring they are linked up to wherever they need to be linked up to, seeking out actively preventative measures for my patients and stuff like that. And then obviously my home duties, depending on what roster we have at home, it may include me fixing a meal, cleaning up and stuff like that. So it's essential things that mothers do and professional work women do. That's how my typical day is like.
Wow, that's great. We know a lot of jobs have challenges, and someone will also want to know, what are some of the biggest challenges you face in your practice?
I must say, the more that I've stayed in Australia, I have sort of sunk in or gotten used to working here. So the challenges are by and large getting better, because obviously when I started working in Australia, the challenges were so many. I mean, learning the system, learning even how the talking beat, learning how to just sort of interact and with colleagues and patients. So that all that has gradually gotten over time. But like any other job, medicine is interesting because you get to be involved in people's happy moments and not so happy moments, especially the tough moments. So the challenges will always be there, because at the end of the day, as much as you give your best to your patients and their families, there are always, people that are sort of not happy or stuff like that. Fortunately, that is very minimal, to be very honest. But the challenges sometimes are the fact that, you cannot advocate enough for your clients. Some of the other challenges are, especially in general practice, and it's probably a challenge because, changing practices, learning things again, like learning how the work culture of wherever you are. Sometimes, time management can be a bit of a problem, especially, my policy is, as long as you're in front of me, I give you 100%. So sometimes that 100% can come at the expense of you running behind and at the expense of you staying behind end of the day, which is unpaid work anyway. But I guess at the end of the day, the challenges will always, be there. But I think the idea is how to navigate the challenges. The other biggest challenge that I normally experience, not only in my work, obviously, but just generally living in Australia, is the fact that, you cannot be with all your loved ones. I think for me, that's a big deal, because as much as you enjoy working here, you enjoy what life has to provide here, good schools for your kids, good work environment, a good home and stuff like that, it doesn't beat the joy of being with your loved ones, of missed birthdays, missed milestones and stuff like that. So that for me is a challenge that I don't see how I'm ever going to bridge it. I think it is something that's just going to be there, and something that you kind of just learn to live with. But it is a major challenge for me as a professional, but also as a migrant mom. Yes.
Okay, that's good, Dr. Oh, can you tell us what are your joys in your career?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think for me the biggest is when you have a gut feeling that something is not right with your patient, and you advocate and advocate and advocate for that patient, and later on they come back and they say, thank you for all that you did for me, because if you had not done it, maybe this and this would have happened. So I think that's a privilege that I get for being a general practitioner, in that I get to work with people at different stages of their lives. And with time, you kind of get used to some of your patients, to the extent that as soon as they walk in, you can tell something is not right. And obviously some of them, especially, I really enjoy working with, the youth, the teens, who sometimes it's very difficult to understand sometimes, I must say, but being able to recognize that something is not right and intervening, and hopefully someday them coming back and saying, thank you for all that you did. That in itself gives me so much joy. The other thing that gives me so much joy is the ability to be involved in active preventative health, I think everybody that comes through, they may be coming for a script or whatever it is. I actively try to find out whether they are up to date with their investigations and stuff like that. And more than once, you've caught, early bowel cancer, you've caught early, a breast thing happening. And I think for me, that's just the fact that knowing that not only one life has been saved, but that person that's looked upon by an entire, family, maybe workplace, that's an entire, a big group of people will benefit from the fact that early treatment was instigated, and that person actually gets better, compared to if they had just waited and eventually got too unwell to be able to have received curative treatment. So for me, those are some of the joys of knowing that you've made a difference in someone's life, and it just keeps you going.
Wow, that's great. And to our next question, someone asked, can you share a memorable patient experience that had a significant impact on you?
Memorable experience. A few are crossing my mind, but I'm just wanting to say, I think let me share this one, because it is, just a young person. The way young people come in with undifferentiated symptoms. And they come in with undifferentiated symptoms, here, there, neither here or there. And you see them maybe once or twice, and you chase your gut feeling that something's not right. And I think for them coming back and you being able to push, even against resistance from, some quarters, they get admitted and found to have, infective endocarditis, which is quite a serious valve infection. And later on it is repaired, and they actually don't end up being on, blood thinners for life. That was a game changer, and that was a big joy for me, to be very honest. But the other one that quickly comes to my mind is working with somebody that had initially intended to terminate a pregnancy, and they changed their minds after they had taken the first treatment and they came. And just being able to walk with them through that journey of initial anxiety in the beginning, the couple of ultrasound, the shared care with the hospital, and eventually them bringing that little boy for me to hold. That was everything. That was amazing. And I think those are some of the things that encourage you to do what you do every day, and to throw in an encouraging word to anybody that you meet across, that, you know, whatever you're going through down the track, you will look back and be grateful that you did what you had to do. Yes.
Wow, that's so exciting.
It is. It is.
Yeah. Anyway, we'd also like to ask you, Dr. How do you approach patient care and ensure you provide the best possible outcomes?
Ooh, interesting. Anyway, patient care. Patient care in Australia, I think it's streamlined. So obviously, being able to work within your limits and being able to understand your scope of practice, I've found to be the main thing for me, because once you understand what you can do and what you cannot do, and recognizing quite early that this is something I'm comfortable dealing with, whereas this I am not comfortable dealing with, and just, you know, using the beauty of Australia is everything is so streamlined. I mean, we do have therapeutic guidelines that guide us on how to practice. We do have policies that guide us on how to do things. So you find like your practice tends to be almost standardized. I guess the only difference is maybe how you do things, your personal attributes and your personal touch to issues and conditions. But by and large, the fact that we are actually lucky in that essence, that we do have laid ways of doing things and knowing how far you can go. I think for me, that was the main one other thing that I had to learn, because, you know, having worked in Africa, Kenya, you know, in emergency department where you could do so much more, you could, you know, put underwater seals and stuff like that. But as soon as you come into Australia, also just understanding that it is okay sometimes, you know, to pass along some of those responsibilities, just ensures that first and foremost you're not getting burnt out, but at the same time, if you need the support that you need for that level of career that you are, maybe as a junior doctor, you can sit back and know that, you know, you can get help when you need it. So in summary, essentially is we do have laid down procedures on how to do things, and so that just enables you to have appropriate patient care.
That's great, Dr. To our next question, what advice will you give to someone considering a career in medicine?
Just do it. Just do it. Just do it, because it is quite, I feel like medicine is quite a noble profession. First and foremost, mainly, like I said when I started, it gives you an opportunity to work with people at different stages of their lives. You get to work with people, you know, when they're being born. You get to work with people, you know, when they are sick. You get to work with people towards end of their life and stuff like that. So it is noble in that sense that, you know, sometimes I'm in my practice, I'm seeing somebody for the very first time, and they sit down and the first thing they do is they start crying. You know, and then they talk about what is, you know, bothering them and stuff like that. And then that's when it normally just dawns on me, I know you're privileged, that you can actually get to see the deepermost parts of people's lives in a way that you can still be non-judgmental, in a way that you can still be understanding of their plight, and still separate yourself to the essence that you can help them walk that journey. So for me, I feel like medicine gives you that opportunity that other jobs do not. A lot of people are walking out there and they look perfectly put together. They're in the waiting room, they look perfectly put together. But as soon as they're within those four walls with you, they are vulnerable enough because they know that you care about them and they know that you will seek out what's best for them. So that privilege, I feel like it's a big privilege to be able to work with people in such situation. And I think the other thing is the ability to use your skill set, the ability to use your strengths to be able to influence people's lives, you know, to be able to ask, what about this? And what about this? Should we try this? Should we do this? And in the sense that you're able to provide the much needed support. And again, if you're contemplating a career in medicine, just remember it is one of the good paying jobs. At the end of the day, you'll be able to take care of your needs. You'll be able to raise your kids. You'll be able to support your family, your extended family, and stuff like that. Just from your day job. I mean, it depends obviously on the subspecialty that you'll do. You're not like super flamboyantly rich, but I mean, you can live a comfortable life as a doctor. So if you're contemplating and you have the tenacity and the grace to allow you to do medicine, why not? I mean, why not?
That's great.
Yeah.
I think for me, medicine is a calling, right? But as you've heard what Dr. said, if you're considering a career in medicine, just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. And to our last question, Dr. as we close our question section, someone asked, how do you manage work-life balance given the demands of your profession? And also, as we close this chapter, we also like you to give an advice to someone who is considering this as a career, and also give an advice in general to all people, like maybe people from your country who want to come here, and also give an advice to people who feel like they don't need to go to the hospital, they just need to like in Kenya, people don't go to the hospitals, They like go to churches. They believe that when you go to church, you get prayed on and maybe you'll get healing. So people don't like go to hospital and realize their sickness before it becomes
too much.
Yeah. So just give an advice to anyone out there.
That's such a packed question, but anyway, let me try. So work-life balance. For me, I believe at the end of the day, when all is said and done, and when your life comes to an end, it is only a few people that will sort of matter, and it's just a few people that will, I know a lot of people will miss you and all that, but at the end of the day, your family are the people that are likely to suffer the most or to feel the impact the most. So work-life balance for me is being able to enjoy my work, but at the same time, take out time to do other things. So this is something that I'm learning to do, because obviously in the past, it's something that was a bit hard for me to prioritize, but something that I'm learning to do a bit more now, and more so because I am in this space that I am in a country where work-life balance is really emphasized. I am learning to take time to spend time with my children, my family, spend time with you, and stuff like that. And I believe in being intentional in that time. I mean, it may not be easy to be around, your loved ones the whole day, but the few time that you're them in the kitchen or doing what, take time to just, invest yourself or what's the English word? Cultivate into them so that they understand the importance of, family and the importance of what is important in life. Because at the end of the day, the running will never stop. The money would never be enough. I can decide to work back to back every day, and I'll be, I'll have a lot of resources, financial resources, but will I be happy? I think that's where we need to get the balance of how much is enough. And being just grateful. Gratitude opens up so many doors. Gratitude opens up doors that you can actually see the blessing that is upon you. It gives you the opportunity to be better and not bitter, even when things don't go right. So for me, embracing that, the power of gratitude in my life, to be able to acknowledge that I am actually blessed, and taking time to enjoy that blessing with the people that matter in my life, is something that I am intentionally planning to do. I have this thing in my head, which I will not share, but obviously it is something that I definitely want to do more of that. To somebody in my country, to somebody back at home in Kenya, or to all my other viewers in the other parts of the world that are contemplating coming to like Australia or something like that, I just want to let you know, all you need to do is really want to do it. I think I tell people, for me, when it gets to a point where you're not comfortable where you are, you're not feeling like you're growing, you're feeling like, whatever you're standing for is not being appreciated and stuff like that, and you decide that this is the way, I just want to let you know that it's not going to be easy. Obviously, nothing good comes easy, but if you just are resilient, you are... make small deposits, you will eventually realize that this journey is very, very possible. I want to wish you the very best, even as you plan to or hope to one day, transition and stuff like that. And for the people back in my country that, and not only my country, in a lot of developing countries, I know as a believer, I believe in the power of prayer a lot. I have seen prayer do a lot for me and my family and my mom as well and stuff like that. But it took prayer, but it also took the hand of doctors. It took us seeing doctors, getting mom reviewed, investigated, So I am a believer that prayer works, but I'm a even stronger believer that God uses people to make a difference. So seek professional help. Do not see a swelling growing and pray it away. It will not go. It will not go. I'm reminded of a story I think I heard somewhere, where this man, believed God, and there was a big storm, and the waters came, and then the first boat came, and the guy said, no, I'm not going, I'm waiting for God to come and rescue me. Something else came, I think a log or something, I'm still waiting for God to come and save me. So 3 times he kept waiting for God to come save him, and then he died. And he went to heaven and asked God, God, I've trusted you all my life, and you did not come through for me when I was stranded. But God says, look, I sent this, and I sent this, and I sent this. So in a nutshell, it's good to believe God. I am a strong believer of God, don't get me wrong. But it is good to remember that God uses people. And God has given doctors this mindset, these bright people out there who've invented medications, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, all these fancy things that can actually make a difference in your life. Do not wait for when it is too late, when we cannot turn the boat around, for you to seek care. Seek care whenever you need it and as soon as you need it, because you won't know how bad things are until you see a professional. So my people, seek healthcare, actively, do screening if you have to, and actively see your doctors if you need to. Yes.
Wow, that was a great interview, Dr. Ari. Thank you so much for sharing what you've shared. It's so nice hearing from you. Anyway, guys, thank you so much also. And as you've learned from Dr. Ari, if you wanna do something, you wanna do medicine, she said you just do it.
Just do it.
I don't know if it's hard. For me, I know it's hard, but for her, I think it's not hard for her because it's a calling also. So just do it. Thank you, guys. Ciao.
Thank you so much for having me, Mwanamisi. God bless.